Hi, everybody. I am here today to talk a little bit about how I got my self confidence back after having an undiagnosed eating disorder. I started having weird eating behaviors when I was in high school. I would go pretty much the whole day without eating a real meal, and it wasn't really my decision or like I wasn't consciously doing it. It was just mainly I didn't really want to pack a lunch in the morning. I didn't really want to um, buy lunch because the lunches weren't very good in school. So I just kind of went the whole day without eating, and then I would get home and then I would have um, a big snack, and I thought that would be okay for my whole day. And then I would have dinner, of course, and then the process would start all over again the next day. So when it became a problem was when I had debilitating self-confidence issues surrounding my weight. I didn't I didn't even think about my weight at all until I was in high school. In middle school and in childhood, I did not even care at all what I looked like, really. It was only until high school when I noticed that I was a more uh, medium-sized build than the other girls. I am not stick skinny in any sense of the term. I have a lot of muscle, and fat too, but I do have a lot of muscle on my body. So when I started noticing that my body looked a little different than the girls, I um, had terrible confidence issues. I would always ask my mom, like, am I fat? Am I fat? Or do you think I'm getting fat? Should I stop eating as much? Just all these horrible things. And my mom was always like, what are you talking about? You look beautiful. She was always there to support me, but I just could not hear her. I just could not listen to what she was saying. And now looking back, being older, I realize now that that was part of the sickness that I would become, that I would in the future kind of develop. So throughout high school, I had pretty low self-esteem, pretty horrible self-confidence because of my perceived weight, and that's when my eating habits began, with not eating all day. And it originally started out, like I said, as something innocent, me not wanting to buy or make a lunch, but then it kind of, as I began going into my junior and senior year of high school, it kind of became more more sinister than that. It was like eating at me that I was getting big, even though I wasn't. So my major issues with eating came when I went to college. My freshman year specifically, I was in a military organization for my entire freshman year, and in the military organization that I was in, I had a lot of rules that dictated when I could eat, how I could eat, just what a lot of people would consider hazing happened to me, and it revolved around food. So I developed this really weird relationship with food where I wouldn't eat because it was scary to me to eat. Because the rules that I had to follow were so specific that I was afraid of the repercussions if I didn't follow the rules of eating. That was where my eating disorder really spiraled. I obsessed over calories. I obsessed over how many calories I ate per day. I was also working out at least 7 hours a week by this point in this military organization. So working out on top of not eating, and on top of being afraid to eat, really messed up my perception of how much I should be eating, how much how much nutrients I needed in comparison to how much I was working out. So all of these things, and my self-confidence with that just plummeted. I felt like I was a cow. When I looked in the mirror, I was so angry with what I saw. It was just so not what I wanted to look like, which was ridiculous because I was working out so much that I lost a good 10 pounds of fat and I added about 15 pounds of muscle onto me. So it was just a lot of the illness was in my brain because I knew it wasn't logical for me to be thinking that I'm fat because I'm obviously not. But with me constricting my calories, I felt like I was fat. So when I left the military organization that I was a part of, I really wanted to increase my self-love and just everything about becoming more confident. And I really didn't know where to start. And actually one of the things that I did was I started eating breakfast. But the problem was, because I had never eaten breakfast before, I hadn't eaten breakfast in a good probably 3 years because of high school going on to college. The problem is that my stomach is shrunk, like it shrunk when I was starving myself like that. And now I find it really hard to eat really big meals. I get full really easily. I can't eat a full meal without feeling nauseous. And it's slowly getting better, but it definitely is not enjoyable. So I slowly began to make myself eat breakfast. And I slowly began to make myself eat a good 3 meals a day instead of 1 or 2. And as I regulated my eating more, I realized that I wasn't gaining any more weight. I realized that my body's metabolism wasn't slowing down because I was eating more food. So that realization really helped me build some more self-confidence. And then the idea, and by the way, I was never diagnosed for anything. That's why I kind of say that this is an eating disorder, because it was. I mean, I would go a day eating like only a cookie and a Mountain Dew and then think that was okay for the whole day. But at the same time, I was never diagnosed as anorexic. So I don't like to classify what I did have. So back to the story. So I started eating breakfast. I started eating more meals. I wasn't gaining any more weight. And then I started really thinking about why I was feeling so bad about myself. Why do I look in the mirror and hate it for no reason? Everyone around me always told me that they thought I was pretty and beautiful. Why did I see myself as pretty or beautiful? And then I thought to myself, why am I being so superficial? Why am I letting this control my life to the point where I can't eat? I can't eat a full meal because of the mirror. And that realization was because it brought it back to reality that we live in a superficial society, but that I was being superficial. That I was responsible for feeling this way because I was being ridiculous. I was thinking that the mirror was the only thing that mattered, right? So that really helped me realize, I do not want to be a superficial person. So what should I focus on? How can I make my life better, And this is why I don't think I actually had a diagnosable eating disorder, because that change, if you have anorexia or bulimia, you need to go to a hospital, you need to go to an inpatient treatment care, stuff like that. Thinking differently will help, but it won't change your whole life. For me, thinking differently changed everything. So that's why I don't think I had a diagnosable illness. So as I began to look at myself in a more positive light, I also went on Tumblr, and on Tumblr there are all these self-love and self-help blogs, and I really identified with wanting to be that way. I wanted to love myself. I wanted to know how to care for myself better, and I really learned a lot through Tumblr. Tumblr has a big support society or support community for people with eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia. Eating disorder is not otherwise qualified. I think EDNOS. I can't remember what that stands for. But anyway, so they have a really big community like that. So I really recommend anyone to look on Tumblr and try to find a blog that you think speaks to you, because it really helped me a lot. So now, where I am now, I still have issues eating full meals. Like I said, I cannot eat a full meal without feeling overly full. And the way I deal with that is that I eat one meal for a long time. Like, it might take me an hour to finish an entire meal. And then also, I really take into account what I'm eating. If I'm eating a big salad, I know that full feeling that I get will go away, because greens can digest pretty easily. So just come up with rules for yourself. I also don't drink water while I'm eating, because that makes me very full very quickly without getting the nutrients that I need. So as you get better, you'll learn how to eat better and have rules for yourself so that you don't feel so full or feel like you're going to throw up, or just deal with your meal better, And as far as self-confidence goes, I'm a lot better now. I am very much more confident with myself. And being confident in yourself will change your whole life. It will change everything. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about that. And if you have any questions for me, or need any advice, not that I am the beacon of advice, but just let me know, and maybe I can answer a couple questions or anything like that. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.